Hey, my name's Cal. I want to show you the alternating banners widget for BigCommerce. This is part of the Epic Page Builder Widgets app. So if you don't have it already, you can download that or install it from the App Store, and then just install all the widgets that are available for it. One of which is called alternating banners. Now, when you go into the customizer, you'll see a whole bunch of new widgets in here. We're just looking for one called alternating banners, and it's right here. So I'm going to just drag this into a page builder field on the page, and you can see that it already has a default image, it already has some default text, and we're going to just change that stuff up. Now on the side here we have 7 different buckets of options to configure, so lots of choices. First of which I'm going to start with the image settings, because this is where we can change the image position to be left or right. And so a lot of people, when they use this widget, they're going to create multiples, and they're going to want to alternate them just like that. And so that's where you find that setting, just like that. Okay, so let's go back into the first one here, and we're just going to go bucket by bucket and go through these settings. So right here, hero section title, this is where your title comes from. And then this section right here, here is my content. And this is an HTML field. So if you put in HTML, just like that, then it'll show up over here. And you can see that turned that into a link, just like that. I wouldn't necessarily do that with this type of widget, but you can if you want to. Be sure to click Save HTML to actually inject the content that you put in here. And right here is the text of the button. Click me. Now, button link, this is where it goes to. So let's just say it goes to the contact page. And this can be a full link or a relative link like what you're seeing here. It's really up to you. You can choose to set the link action to open in a new tab or open in the current tab, which is what people would normally probably do unless you're referring out to an external site. If you want to set the background color, just like this, you can. Probably wouldn't go that dark, but maybe like a nice light gray. F5, F5 is a classic. Um, Here's where you can position the content. Most of the time, you're probably going to want to do this either centered or left, just like that. This is the alignment of the actual content. So if you did choose left here, you'd probably want to choose left here as well. I like centering, so I'm going to just leave it centered. You can change the vertical alignment of the content pretty easily, just like that. And right here is where you can change the padding of this content right there. Like maybe we wanted to make this left aligned, and it doesn't look great because it's like right up next to the image. So maybe let's add 40 there. Maybe let's add 40 there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Let me change it all back. All right. So that is the first tab, the content tab. So the title options is where we can make the title itself a link and point it to somewhere. We can change the font size of it, just like that. We can change the weight of the title if you wanted to do that for some reason. We can force it to be uppercase or capitalized or lowercase, just like that, if we really want to. And we can even change the title color, make it a nice blue. And if we wanted to add a little bit more margin for some reason like that, then we totally can do that all right here in the title options tab. Content options is very similar, except that this is all going to style your content block here. Button options, very similar again, except this is going to style the button. It does have some additional options here specifically for the button colors. So, maybe you didn't want to have a background color, for example, but you wanted to make the button a text link. So you can do that just like that. Or maybe you want to just make it a slight gray. All right, moving on. These are the padding. This is the padding and the um, margin here for the button. So if you wanted to change the size of it, no problem. If you wanted to give it a border, you totally can do that, just like that. You need to give it a color and an actual thickness for the border, which is fine. If you want to give it some border radius, totally can do that, just like that. Make it a rounded button, which I don't like, so I'm going to just take it out. All right, I'm going to take out this too. Okay, moving on. Image settings. Okay, so we already looked at this briefly. This is where you can make it go left or right, the overall um, direction of the row, I guess. This is where you're going to put your alt text for the picture. So this doesn't show on the page visually, but it does show in the code, and this is what helps people with disabilities and Google know what this image is about. To change the image, you can click here and then just pick another image that's in your image manager, just like that. Or you can click here to upload a new image. Pretty easy stuff. Let's just pick a cool image like guitars. Yeah. If you wanted to change the image position, you can make it left or right. So this is important if your image doesn't quite fill the space. And you can change alignment vertically and horizontally as well. To get the spacing, you may want to space these widgets out. And so you can see this adds a little bit more space around the widget. So say you want to have several of these, right? Uh, let's say you want to add several of these. So I'm going to just put that 20 pixel margin. And then I could come back in here and copy that. And you can see it copies all the settings from that first one. So that's pretty cool. Okay, going into the last tab, this is just for a background color. If you wanted to assign a background color for the entire widget, you can totally do it right there. Now that's being overridden by the fact that there is um, a background here on the text. So if I didn't have that, this red would be showing through. And that is the alternating banners widget for BigCommerce. Thanks.